Hey everyone, welcome back into the channel for another video, and as per usual, it's new tire day. Alright, so you may or may not know that Vittoria recently refreshed their lineup of gravel tires. I am not sponsored by Vittoria personally through the channel. I did not get these for free for review, but I must disclose that through my cycling team, I did get a discount as they offer a discount to our team. So with that all out of the way, I went ahead and picked up a set of the Vittoria Terreno T30 tires. Used to be the dry, but now it's T30. These are meant for fine and loose gravel. So, as you've probably seen on my channel, I go through a lot of gravel tires. Mainly not due to anything necessarily wrong with changing the setup or grip or anything like that. It's that I have been having a heck of a time with punctures and durability of my tires. The last set of tires I didn't even show on the channel, a set of 45C Challenge Getaway Pros. But I had a terrible time of them not holding their inflation, having to reinflate them every single day. I never actually had any issue with the Vittoria gravel tires I had previously, which were the Terreno Zeros. The only issue that I had with them, and the reason I ultimately went away from them, was because of the lack of side knobs and side tread that led to me sliding out and low siding on one of my routine gravel training rides, which I detailed in a previous video, which I'll link up top here. So what led me to go back to the Vittoria tires is the fact that I had absolutely zero issues with durability on the previous Terreno Zeros that I've had, and the fact that I know they seal up really well even with just minimal tire sealant. So I am hoping that even though they may not be the fastest tires, I haven't refreshed my memory on the bicycle rolling resistance numbers, but we can always put that up on the screen. But I don't believe them to be the fastest of tires, but I need the durability and the air retention to suit my type of riding. Let's be honest, I'm not going out and competing for any competition or wins or anything like that in the gravel scene. I just want a relatively fast rolling tire, but more importantly to me these days, durability. So with that lengthy introduction out of the way, let's go ahead, crack open both of these, see the actual weights on them, get them installed, see how difficult it is to get them seated, if we can do that with a floor pump, and measure their installed width. And as an added bonus, I'm going to install these with my gravel air liners from Vittoria as well. All right, let's go ahead, get one of these cracked open. These are e-bike ready, but obviously I won't be using them on an e-bike. All right, folded relatively flat. Let's go ahead and get the paperwork out of here. Don't want that to impact our weights. All right, got the scale powered on. Go ahead, drop these on there. Looks like 521 grams. And we know the weight for 700 by 40C brown, 500 grams. So we are 21 grams over claimed weight here. All right, next one. All right, go ahead and set that on there. Looks like 514 grams here, 14 grams overweight. All in all, not significantly above, but definitely more than we like to see. Although, for me, I'll take the trade-off if that means these are going to be more durable. So for this installation, we're going to be putting these on my new-ish gravel wheels. The 11 wheels carbon gravel disc wheels has internal width of 21 millimeters, not super wide by any means, but wider than the last set of wheels that I had. And these are carbon, and they're a little bit heavier, but hopefully more durable than the last set of wheels that I had. All right, so for this install, we're gonna go ahead, get this tire spread out, get it installed on the wheel, then we'll slip the airliner in, put some tubeless sealant in, and see if we can get this thing set up. Gotta make sure that it is going in the right direction. I do believe these are directional. Let's take a look here. Yeah, you can see the rotational arrow right there. And of course, we're all about that vanity. So we're gonna find that label and we'll line it up centered up with our valve stem here. I think that looks about right. Let's see how difficult it is to get this put on. In my experience, Vittoria tires were never really that bad. But it does look like I'm gonna need a tire lever. Brought everything out except the tire lever. Rookie mistake. All right, tire lever acquired. Let's see how difficult it is. Should be pretty easy. Slip on. Actually, it's pretty challenging to get fitted on here. All right, that is now on there. Definitely pretty snug fit. All right, next up, tire insert. All right. Tire insert, already pre-sized. Go ahead, get this slipped in here. And we'll see just how difficult it is to get this centered up through here. Always make sure we get it put on around the valve first. Ooh, yuck. Yep. Whew. Might have to cut the video and come back just so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of your time trying to get this seated. I'll let you know how it was. Okay, got it seated. Really wasn't all that bad actually. Just needed to go around and make sure that that tire bead was stuck all the way into the centermost channel in the wheels. Then it freed up a little extra room to get that popped on there. All right, so now that we got this seated on here, before we put any sealant in there, I'm gonna go ahead, give it a good old test with the floor pump, see if it will seat the bead. If not, hit it with the air compressor. I got a feeling this one's not gonna seat just because that bead's not sitting super flush out there to allow it to pop onto the bead, but we'll see. Well, she popped on. Looks like I'm eating my words today. Good job, Vittoria. All right, for tire sealant, going with the Orange Seal Endurance. I know I have talked about going away from this in the past, moving to the Muck Off sealant, but after having a big flat in the last gravel race I did, which I did not cover on the channel, I made a giant mess of everything trying to put a tube in there, and now I have ruined a lot of my kit that I was wearing that day just from the sealant itself that will not come out. So for me, the orange seal coupled with the airliners, hopefully that means even if I get a flat, I can nurse it in. I'll have tubes with me if necessary, but we're gonna go ahead and give this a try. And hopefully this will be the setup I run for Big Sugar, only the 50 mile this year. So we'll see how that goes. And I have this super inexpensive valve stem remover and tubeless sealant injection syringe here that I picked up from Amazon. I'll drop a link down below. Really cheap. I've been using this for years. It is fantastic. Fits right in the valve stem. Perfect use for these non-chunky sealants. Go ahead and hit it with, let's say 50 mils of sealant. Be a good start. How much sealant do you put in your tires? 40C or 45 or 35? Let me know down in the comments. All right, final piece of the puzzle. Got the calipers out. Let's see what the external width is on these with 21 millimeter internal width wheels. Looks like we're pretty much dead on 40. That is pretty true to size. We always like to see that. All right, so that is gonna do it for the Vittoria Terreno T30 gravel tires today for the install and setup video. If you wanna see a ride review, go ahead, let me know down in the comments. Sometimes I'll put those out, sometimes I won't, because there just doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in those since it's all subjective thoughts. But happy to put one together if there is some interest. And until next time, make sure that you like. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you know somebody interested in these tires, go ahead and share that video so that they can get that information that is good for them. And as always, got some links down in the description for Amazon that does help out the channel, much more so than the ad revenue from the videos. But until next time, everyone, enjoy your ride.